Watch this video about the standard normal distribution. You will need the laminated table from class to answer the questions on the handout. The first question states to find the probability that your z-score is between 0 and 1.2. Anytime you're asked to find the probability between two scores, you look up the probability for each score, and then you subtract the two probabilities. With this problem, a z-score of 1.2 gives an area of 0.8849. A z-score of 0 gives an area or a probability of 0.5. When you subtract, you end up with 0.3840. The second question is a greater than question. Anytime you're asked to find the probability that the z-score is greater than a given value, you first look up the probability. Then you subtract 1 minus the probability. In this case, we have 1 minus the probability of 0.8849, which gives us an answer of 0.1151. Question number 3 is also a greater than problem. It is worked the same way as problem number 2. You look up your z-score that's given, and then you subtract, so you have 1 minus 0.1151. This gives you an answer of 0.8849. Question number 4 is an in-between problem. It is worked just like problem number 1. You look up the areas for each of the given z-scores, then you must subtract. Remember, when you subtract, the larger probability has to come first. So in this case, the larger probability is 0.5 minus the smaller probability of 0.1151. This gives an answer of 0.3849. Question number 5 is just like problem number 4. It too is an in-between problem. You look up your two z-scores, then you subtract your areas to end up with an answer of 0.1525. The next question is also an in-between question. Again, you look up your two probabilities, you subtract. The next question is worked the same way. It is an in-between problem, so you look up your two probabilities and you subtract them. This question is worked the same way. It's an in-between question. Look up the two probabilities and then subtract. The next question is a greater than question. Remember, when you're dealing with greater than, you look up the z-score. Once you find the area or the probability, you then have to subtract, so you have 1 minus 0.2266, and that gives us an answer of 0.7734. The next question is a less than question. Anytime you're asked to find the probability that the z-score is less than a given number, you look up the z-score in the table to find the corresponding probability, and that is your final answer. In this particular problem, when you look up the z-score of 0.68, you get an area of 0.7517. This next question is different. This time, you're looking for the temperature that separates the bottom 20% from the top 80%. So this time, using your table, you locate the area closest to 0.20 in the table. Remember that the area is the inside values of the table. Looking at the body of the table, the closest area is 0.2005. The corresponding temperature is negative 0.084. This is your temperature, this is your z-score. The next question, you have to find the 90th percentile. So you are looking for the temperature that separates the bottom 90% from the top 10%. you have to find the area closest to point 90 in the table. The area that is closest to point 90 is 0.8997. The z-score, or the temperature that corresponds to the area, is 1.28. The last question, if you're asked to find the cutoff score for the readings that are too low, you have to find the temperature separating the bottom 3% from the top 97%. If you look in the table, the area closest to 0.03 is 0.0301. The temperature that corresponds to this area is negative 1.88. You also have to find the temperature that is too high. To find this, since the normal distribution is bell-shaped, is symmetrical, then the only thing we have to do is drop the minus off of the temperature. So the temperature separating the bottom 97% from the top 3% is 1.88.